The first time Thomas Quill saw the Empress, he was sweeping the glass floor of the Intergalactic Council Hall, trying not to stare at the creature whose shadow could blot out the light of 3 suns. She sat alone on the dais, a massive silhouette of violet and silver, her body shimmering like liquid metal. Her head brushed the light panels that mimicked stars. 8 eyes, each the color of frozen lightning, regarded the assembly with unreadable patience. The rest of the counselors, representing every known civilization of the Orion Arm, occupied their cushioned seats in a crescent arc below her. All except the one directly beside her. That chair had remained empty for 3 years. Rumor said anyone who sat there vanished before the next dawn. Thomas, a janitor from the lower decks of Mars Station 12, had no business near such beings. He'd been assigned to maintenance only because the android sanitation unit malfunctioned, and the council demanded spotless floors for the Empress's first visit in a millennium. He'd been warned, do not speak to the Empress. Do not make eye contact. Do not, under any circumstance, sit beside her. He hadn't planned to. He just wanted to finish his shift, collect his pay, and avoid another round of lectures from the supervisor, who seemed allergic to humility. Yet, as Thomas worked his way across the hall, broom gliding over the luminous tiles, he felt her gaze, cool and immense, turn toward him. His hands trembled, but he pretended not to notice. The broom squeaked softly. He could hear the rustle of alien robes, the hum of translation orbs, the slow breathing of something that had never been human. And then a voice, inside his head, not through his ears. You clean the dust of worlds, little one. Thomas froze. He looked up despite himself. The Empress hadn't moved, but her eyes shimmered faintly. I just sweep floors, ma'am, he stammered aloud before he could stop himself. A ripple passed through the council. Some delegates hissed. Others whispered through translator fields. No one spoke to the Empress directly. No one, but she didn't vaporize him. She didn't roar. Instead, her mind voice came again, deep and resonant like the echo of a black hole. Honest work, rare in halls of power. Then she looked away. Thomas blinked, heart pounding. Maybe he'd imagined it. Maybe the cleaning solvents were stronger than he thought. The next day, the council reconvened. A dozen species debated trade routes, resource treaties, and the usual galaxy-spanning disputes. Thomas was again assigned to cleaning duty, mopping up the glittering steps between sessions. The empty chair beside the Empress loomed larger than ever. No one dared even brush against it. The seat itself was forged from her world's metal, a pale green alloy that pulsed faintly, alive. Legend said it was bonded to her essence. To touch it was to risk being seen too deeply. Thomas, curious despite fear, studied it as he cleaned. It looked lonely. By the 3rd day, he noticed something strange. The Empress's radiance dimmed ever so slightly. Her shoulders hunched, her breathing slowed. Even her 8 eyes blinked out of rhythm. She seemed cured. That evening, when the council adjourned, Thomas lingered. Everyone else had gone. Only the Empress remained, vast and unmoving. He looked at the chair. He shouldn't. Every instinct screamed to walk away. But something, perhaps pity, perhaps stupidity, anchored his feet. He took a step. The air vibrated, thick with unseen energy. Another step. The Empress's eyes opened. Why do you approach? Thomas swallowed hard. You look lonely. Lonely. The word rolled through the chamber like thunder. I am she who commands the spires of Irith, devourer of the false suns, keeper of the great seed. I am not. Lonely, he almost bolted. But then she sighed, and the light around her softened. And yet, she added quietly, none sit beside me. Thomas glanced at the chair again. May I? The silence stretched. Then, unexpectedly, the Empress inclined her great head. You may. He sat. The instant his body touched the living metal, a pulse surged through him. Memories that weren't his, stars igniting, oceans of crystal, cities built on the backs of titans flashed behind his eyes. He gasped. The Empress watched, curious. You endure. Interesting. Thomas blinked away tears. That was your world? Yes. Her voice softened in his mind. Before the silence. Before the betrayal, she told him haltingly at first of her people, the Irithians, beings of immense size and grace who had once guided younger species. until the council, fearful of their power, had sealed them away in the void between galaxies. She was the last, resurrected by treaty to keep peace, but forbidden from returning home. "They fear what they do not understand," she said. "So they left me this throne and an empty seat as a gesture. None dare fill it." Thomas didn't know what to say. He'd never been much good with politics or cosmic tragedy, so he said the only thing that felt right. "Well," he murmured, "I'm here now." The Empress looked at him, long and silent. Then, astonishingly, she laughed. It was a deep crystalline sound that sent waves across the hall's glass floor. "Indeed, little sweeper." News spread quickly. By the next morning, the entire council buzzed with disbelief. The human janitor had sat beside the Empress and lived. Some called it blasphemy, others a miracle. When Thomas arrived for work, he was met with glares, questions, even threats. But the Empress said nothing. She only looked at him once as he began cleaning, and that look silenced the room. Over the following weeks, a strange friendship blossomed. Thomas would finish his duties early and sit beside her as she rested between sessions. She taught him fragments of her tongue, a language that resonated not through sound but through light. He told her about Mars Station 12, about the rusted corridors, the recycled air, the vending machine that still served coffee older than he was. She seemed fascinated by such mundanity. "You live among metal and dust, yet still find beauty," she said once. He shrugged. "It's what we've got." Her 8 eyes blinked slowly in the Irithian gesture of respect. "Perhaps that is why your kind survives everything. But peace never lasts long when power is involved." One evening, as the council debated the rights of the Varnak colonies, an ambassador from the Dominion of Lear rose, trembling with fury. His body was a flickering lattice of energy, his voice sharp as glass. "This is an outrage," he cried. "A human servant defiles the Empress's dais. Our ancestors would burn at such insult." The chamber erupted. Some delegates nodded in agreement. Others shouted back. The Empress raised one massive hand and silence fell like a hammer. "You object to kindness?" she asked. "It is not your custom," the Lyran shrieked. "The chair beside you is sacred. To sit there unbidden." "He was bidden," the Empress interrupted, her voice calm but unyielding. "By me," the ambassador faltered. "But he is nothing." The Empress leaned forward, her immense form casting the entire hall into shadow. "He is not nothing. He is brave enough to see me as I am, not as legend dictates. Tell me, who among you has done the same?" No one answered. The silence stretched until the ambassador's form flickered uncertainly and dimmed. That night, after the hall emptied, Thomas sat beside her again. "You didn't have to defend me," he said quietly. "They'll just hate me more." "Let them," she replied. "Hate is small. You have reminded them of something larger." "What's that?" "Courage without expectation," Thomas chuckled. "That's a fancy way to say stupidity." Her laughter rumbled like distant thunder. "Perhaps, but sometimes the universe is moved by fools." Days turned into weeks. The council's mood shifted. Some delegates, inspired or curious, began approaching the dais after sessions. They asked her questions, not about war or power, but about her memories, her dreams. The Empress answered with patience she hadn't shown in centuries. It was as though the invisible wall around her cracked. And one morning, when Thomas arrived, he found something astonishing. The empty seat was gone. In its place were 2 smaller chairs, built of human steel and Irithian alloy, side by side. A gift from the council itself. A symbol. The Empress inclined her head toward him. "They have learned," Thomas smiled. "Guess janitors can make a difference after all?" More than kings sometimes, but the peace was fragile. On the last day of the summit, alarms blared through the station. A rogue vessel from the outer fringe appeared in orbit, its weapons locked on the council hall. A terrorist faction opposed to alien unification had come to destroy everything. Panic erupted. Delegates scattered. Defense systems flickered offline under a cyber attack. The Empress rose to her full height, her glow returning brighter than ever. "Leave this place," she commanded. "I will hold them." Thomas grabbed her lower arm, its surface warm, alive. "You can't! They'll kill you!" "I was born from stars," she said softly. "I will not die in shadow." Before he could protest, light exploded from her body, tearing through the dome. Her voice echoed in every mind across the station. Remember, even the smallest hand may touch eternity. Then she was gone, transformed into a radiant sphere that shot into orbit. Moments later, the enemy vessel disintegrated in a silent burst of violet light. When the debris settled and the emergency klaxons faded, Thomas sat in the now empty hall. Her throne remained, cracked but still pulsing faintly with life. The council filed in slowly, humbled, reverent. The Lyran ambassador approached him, his luminous form bowed. She spoke of you before she ascended, said you were her friend. Thomas stared at the empty space where she'd sat. She was mine too. The council voted unanimously to name the new peace accord after her, the Irithian Concord, and at its heart, they Plaxum.